amazing. Welcome everybody. Alan and Kenny behind the camera. Hollywood McShane, another one of our legendary Alan Robson's Night Owls, ghost hunty, grizzly trailee. It's a little bit of everything tonight. And look across there. That is a big, big river. Amazing place. And to be honest, tonight we're zipping up my boots because I'm going back to my roots, family roots, absolutely family roots, because this is where my great-great-grandfather and his family from 3 generations before worked on this river. It's the River Tyne, and you can hear the seagulls in the distance. My family started off as foy boatmen. Now, a foy boatman, they used to row out into that, and look at how
big expanse of water.
That's the sea. Yeah. That's the mouth of a river and I know a lot of people see the river at Newcastle and they think that's the width.
Yeah,
that's the width.
Yeah, look at it.
It's a big, big, big river.
Jimmy Neal was right.
He was not wrong. However, back in the day, people could make money, self-employed. They'd get themselves a rowing boat. Yeah. That was it. And they'd row out to the tall ships coming in. Remember, tall masts and sails. And they'd shout to the ship, "Are you ready for a mooring?" Tynemouth was a massive, and I mean massive, port. Not Newcastle. They're not Tynemouth and North and South Shields, particularly the Tynemouth North Shield side, massive port, and there would be boats right the way along. However, most of them had to dock a little bit offshore.
Right.
In Newcastle, obviously, they could get right up beside the dock because they dredged out all of that stuff. So my family would take a cable from a ship. It would be thrown down to their rowing boat. Somebody get a hold of it. Then the other one would row to the shore, tie it up, and then the family would literally pull the boat to the shore. So literally going back to my roots, and I love the fact that we're here. Now, I want to just, if we're going to tell stories, did your family have anything to do with this part of?
No, my dad was a shipbuilder at the Neptune yard in Wall's End, you know, so he...
Swan Hunters?
Yeah, so he would like be a plate and build the ships and stuff and all, that's what he did, you know, so not down this end at all though, no.
I remember doing a gig with Mark Knopfler and a whole batch of notables trying to save Swan Hunters back in the day. Right, it's a tragedy that we're not the strength in shipbuilding that we used to be, because we've got the skills, we've got the people with skills. But when I was a little lad, 2 stories from here, and one of them will unsettle you both. The first one was when the tide goes out, and I don't know whether you can come down here just a little bit. Do you see that island out there?
Yeah.
That is a thing called the Black Middens. Have you heard of the Black Middens? You ever heard the name before?
I've heard the name. I didn't think it was that though.
Yeah, the Black Middens. Now, when the tide goes out completely, you can actually get into where the sea is at the moment, or the river is, should I say. And you can go out there, and my dad used to come down here if ever we went fishing, and he'd dig for a thing called ragworms, which are worms that have got like little bitey bits at the end. Yeah. And I had one stuck to my finger for about an hour, and he refused. He says, "You get it off, you get it off." And what he had to do was actually cut the head of the beast off and then pull the pincers out. Nasty damn things if anybody's ever had them. So what I didn't realise is that promontory of rock, sometimes it's completely covered. Right. And when the tall ships were coming in, if they weren't paying attention, they'd hit that, and hundreds of ships have gone down here, hundreds. And in one day in 1854, 3 ships on the same day crashed on the Middens. They crashed on the Black Middens. So it's said that this whole area here is supposed to be haunted by the various people that drowned off here, absolutely. Now, I've got names of the dead who walk fairly close to this place, but the other story was something that happened in World War II. You know, a couple of factories were pulled down during World War II because they had a lot of metal and a lot of iron, and they were trying to gather that to make munitions at Vickers. So they pulled these factories down, and one of them was just along there where that block of flats is. Don't know whether you can see it. Just over here, you can see there's a lot of people getting on with their business just up there. Used to be a factory there, and when they pulled it down, an army of rats, and they estimated it at close to 200,000 rats in one solid stream, came all the way down here and attached to somewhere along here. Now, when I was little, my dad showed me it. There's like an outlet pipe with metal rims, and all of the rats came out of there as if they knew where they were going, and they just went straight up that pipe. Seriously? 200,000 rats. And people, they were so unafraid of people that people would stand and they would literally walk right past them.
Oh, no.
So there's a rat story attached to this from way back, involving someone who died literally just around the corner. I'll tell you his story a bit later. Right. But the main reason we started here is, I know you love your history. From a haunting point of view, keep your eyes peeled everywhere we go, because literally just back up behind us, there's a wood that's said to be haunted just there. Tanglewood, light it up, Kenny.
I've heard this before, right?
Yeah, this whole area is supposed... And the story, it's weird, because you would think with the story of a lot of dead seamen from yonder, having a splish splash around the Black Middens there, and yet it's this wood.
Dead seamen have the split splash.
Oh, dear. Oh God! All right, but this is the. If you come here, check this place out, and if you come for a ghost hunt, especially, look at these trees.
Look at that. That is a proper witchetty wood.
Absolutely. Now, most people never go down here, but you should. And I know it's a bit slippy. Watch your step and don't fall, because Kenny, I know you're...
Yeah, fancy seeing that, to me.
Yeah. Put your foot on there and you can.
Right,
You manage?
Yeah, we are. Slide it down.
Now, even if you just get this far, you can see. But it's down here. There's supposed to be... There's a story of a young family who made this place their home when in the late 1800s.
You can imagine it, can't you? Look, in there.
But the problem was that the people nearby complained, and they said it was that it was a family of ne'er-do-wells, and they eventually, one day they were here, one day they were just gone. But you've got to keep an eye out from down here, because this is absolutely...
Obviously been living in there, look.
What?
I think it's a bucket and everything like that. Look, that part there.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I see it.
It's like the kids maybe have made a den of it or something. But one day the family were just not there, and it said that harm came to them and they ended up in the river. It was a woman, a man, and 3 children, and I would hate to think that something bad happened to them, but that's the reality. Just walking along here, when you light it up, you can see this is like seriously spooky place. Now, we've got a lot of ghost stories, we've got a lot of history to pack in as well tonight, and it's all ghost related, most of the stories that I've got, which is super cool. Yeah. So share, for if you do, one of these wonderful little guys could be yours. Share it with as many people as you can, please, and hopefully we can get one of these out to you. But this place here, it's one of the... A lot of people who live in this area don't even know the stories behind here. They say it was a family of travellers. My story is it was not a family of travellers.
That's a proper den, isn't it? Look at that, they've got like a bridge thing coming over.
Oh, they've got a way to get down there. Yeah. But the story that I heard was it was just a family that came on poor times. And they're supposed to still be living here, you know, because it was the only home that they could get at the time. Because money short as it's becoming again.
And it's a natural sort of place to go where you're not going to get any wind or, you know,
absolutely.
You've got to be away from it all.
And to be honest, if you can come out and have a view over a river like that,
oh, God, yeah.
Dream come true. Because I don't think it would be hard, even using some of the branches of these trees to bend them over and create shelter for yourself.
Not at all. That's mad, isn't it?
But even just looking along, it's a scary old place,
isn't it?
Mind you, it doesn't have a great feel. It has to be said. Now we cannot leave this place without giving you a bombshell, and this is a mind blower because even the people who live here probably have no idea. Look at this. Look at this. These cannons fought in the Battle of Trafalgar. I mean, how mind-blowing is that? There's 4 of them here. They're off a ship called the Royal Sovereign, and the Royal Sovereign was captained by the guy who's on top of the podium. We're lighting him up for you, Tony. I hope you can see him. 20th Century Fox presents. There you go. So that's Cuthbert Collingwood. Now Cuthbert was he was born in Newcastle, lived in Morpeth. They've got a blue plaque next to the house where he used to live, and on there, if you choose to read it, it'll tell you that these 4 cannons, and they're real cannons, they're real working cannons. They don't work now, but they worked then. Imagine how big a wooden tall ship would have to be to have 20 odd of these on each side. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable.
It's Rocky.
It's Rocky. Does it mention the Royal Sovereign there? There you go. Now, there's a quotation up on here, guys, that you should read, because what happened, you know the Battle of Trafalgar?
Yeah.
But do you know, I'm going to give you the fast version of it. Right. First, do you know who we were fighting?
In the Battle of Trafalgar?
Yeah.
I thought, was it not the Spanish? You have no idea.
Spanish and French.
Right.
It was both of them.
Right.
And Collingwood, at the beginning of the Battle of Trafalgar, saw the fleet coming in the direction of him, and instead of waiting till all the other British ships had joined him, he went straight into the middle of them and started knocking them down. Right. And there's a quote on here, apparently, let me find it. There you go. There you go, 1805, actions of Trafalgar. For upwards an hour before the other ships were within gunshot, it caused Nelson to exclaim, "See how that noble fellow Collingwood takes his ship into action." In other words, he said, "Stuff you, I'm going to dive in there." But Battle of Trafalgar is, everybody says, oh, it was Nelson, it was his greatest moment. Yeah. It wasn't. There was nothing to do with Nelson. Nelson, a bit of a dandy, a bit of a show-off. Yeah. And they said to him, "How are you going to be dressed?" And Nelson said, "I'm going to wear all of my medals and finery." And they said, "Well, I wouldn't do that. You're just a target for a French sniper." So he says, "No, damn the French, I'm going to do it my way." So he put on all of his medals, came out on deck and got shot. So it was down to Cuthbert, the very man, it was down to Cuthbert to take over, and he ended up winning the Battle of Trafalgar because Nelson was already dead. "Kiss me hardy" and all that, very romantic. Look at that.
1848.
Selected by Colonel H.W. Gordon in 1848 to be placed here. But can you imagine operating something like that?
Imagine trying to push it into position.
But you also got to remember that when it fired, it had to be shackled to the deck so that the recoil wouldn't take it crashing through the timbers. Now, there's not any hauntings apparently up here. There's nothing this is probably one of the few areas where there isn't, but I couldn't not come here without.
That is amazing.
Because it is. He's got one hand holding his belt, the other hand that's a pile of ship's rope. Right. Because he said even when he was on land, half of him was at sea. Yeah. Because he was a special fella and tragically died of cancer. Anyway, let's get to the ghosty stuff. That's the main deal. Watch your step down here. Look, oh God. It is going to be a rocky night, there's no question about that.
You like it? That is just crazy.
It's
just history in front of you there, isn't it, you can touch?
But I know, and it's here. And it's outside.
And you touch it, don't you, because you don't want to say,
I've touched, I know, I'm absolutely with you.
You do, don't you?
It takes you there too. Takes you there, man.
Doesn't it?
Absolutely. Right, now down, back to the scary woods. And I must say, hell, that last step was a big one. Look at these woods though, aren't they wild? But we're heading...
Why haven't I seen trees like that before? They are different, aren't they? They're like a normal everyday tree kind of thing for some reason. They're just weird.
They certainly look... They look what it says on the tin. If you're looking for somewhere spooky to come and do a ghost hunt that's underused, I think.
Yeah, totally.
This kind of place. And it's not far from the centre of Tynemouth. So, keep your eyes peeled down here. And don't forget, if you see anything, catch that image and share it with us. We do a thing called the Blah for supporters, where we do the second half, because we do about two and a bit hours most nights. And Kenny's got his night vision on, and he's going along to do a place that's got two particular ghost stories, and they're corkers too. Nice. Down here's a place called Prior's Wood, and that's it. And it has apparently a dark presence that intimidates and pushes you. Now that's just in here, yeah, just in this area down here. Tynemouth's been visited by a lot of really famous people. Garibaldi from Italy, leader of Italy. Peter the Great of Russia came down here because the port was so important.
Right. Yeah.
And we also had Charles Dickens.
Look down there.
Say again?
Something just lit up down there.
Something just...
Lit up? Is it a car? Can it be?
Can it be in the wood? No.
Something just lit up just there.
Can it light? Surely not.
100% something just lit up there. I don't know what it was. It was just
Let's just take a look in, because we're not going to spend a lot of time here, but it's worth having a look in.
Someone's in there with a torch or something.
Oh, I saw a red thing. There's a red thing down here.
Yeah, I've seen that red light before, but now something just white lit up just there.
It's a car.
No?
It's a car.
Oh, it is a car.
But this area here, apparently, people have said that they've been pushed, shoved, and it leads to a park. Priory Park, I think, is kind of just over that way somewhere.
Oh, clear as the sky.
It's going to be a good night for what we're doing tonight. You just got to be aware of what's about, because there's stuff here, undeniably. Then of course you get a bit of sand under your feet because you know where you are. There'll be a few cars about and a few people. Yeah, just you lead the way because you've got the night vision on, Kenny. It's a skull. I think it's more of a skull, personally, but...
It's like South Park figure, isn't he?
The only difference between us and South Park is we're still waiting for somebody to kill Kenny.
It'll not be long, I think. You know, since we lit that car up, it drove out quickly.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it is. These kind of places are cubby holes for rendezvous, aren't they? Whoa, 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 whoa. I just got a little tickle there.
Just down here?
Yeah. Just down in this bit here. Can you see more of it, Kenny?
Yeah, again.
Whoa. Just a little tickle of movement. Yeah, see if you can get it with your night vision, Kenny.
Right, go on.
Just down here.
Just got a message. Newcastle won. Yay.
Well done.
Oh, God.
You getting anything?
There's a sort of a...
Like a fence and some
like
cars parked.
Isn't there?
Oh, blimey. Right.
I like this walkway. Good, isn't it?
It's amazing. Just this whole place is just full of stuff. Now, if you go along the path that I think this car's coming down, there you go. There's a car just going to go past. He's on his own, so if that was a romantic rendezvous, it didn't work out quite as well as he thought.
Me in my hand.
That's the Pink song, absolutely.
It is, isn't it?
Well spotted. Right, so there's a car park just over yonder. The main place that we're going to be pointing out and telling tales of, there's beach down here as well. Right. And this particular beach has an amazing story, and it's a bit unpleasant. So let's go down. We've got a lot of the obvious targets to hit, but
that reminds me like of a mini Edinburgh castle, doesn't it? When you see it like that.
From this point, absolutely.
It does, doesn't it?
God, your torch is powerful, Kenny, mine. Brighter than mine. That's the bit. Look at that. Tremendous. Well, we're going along the walkway down here fairly soon, but let's go down here first, down onto the small beach. And there is a small beach down here. Amazing story, just an amazing story. So let's tell it from where it happened. Do you know, this is it's the yacht club. As you can see on the left hand side, you can see yachts, obviously. Now, the sands down here, first of all, when the Vikings came here, and the Vikings came here in 800, and they totally destroyed the priory. They came back in 875 and destroyed it again after it had been rebuilt. And they came back again in 1023, certainly the early 1000s. And when they came back, the amount of money that they'd spent, something's lighting it up as well. What's that?
Oh,
right. What's that? There's something lighting up.
Something up there, isn't it?
How about that? We'll get as close as we can, but it's down here we need to be. We're on the beach, as you can see. We're walking in sand here. We've got to get down. And as you see, it's a natural port. Do you see how this is all built up? Yeah. There's a car park on the top of there, but it's down here. This is the walkway if you want to get yourself off the sand and have less to deal with when you get in the car later. But it's down here, as I say. Now, this place is absolutely haunted to the max. Now, there's people in the yacht club, that's fine, let them get on with a party-harty, while we go down to the sea. Le Mer. Now this beach, it's kind of a pebbly beach. I know this is beautiful sand here, but when you get down a bit, it turns into I don't know whether you can see it. Here it goes. Seaweed. Yeah, plenty of seaweed, kelp. I need somebody. And look, what the hell's, what are they? Oh, that was part of the old dock. Now, it's interesting that should be there, because that's kind of, there was a dock here. Now, I'm taking you back to the 1300s here. I think it's 1323. There was a dock. Oh, this is it. Brilliant. And the sea's just gone out, because you can see that this is still soaking. This is the old dock, and it used to go well out. It went out to about there. Yeah, that's the sea, Kenny. Yeah, strangely enough, just showing itself for us. But this area here, something happened back in the 1300s that very few people know about. There was a war between Tynemouth and Newcastle. Right. Now, a lot of people from both places have no idea. It was about supplying ships. Newcastle wanted them all to go to Newcastle Quayside. Yeah. Tynemouth and North Shields, but it was called Tynemouth at the time, they all wanted them to come here. Yeah. And a group from Newcastle came down to try and bully the Tynemouth boys, not realising that there was several thousand of them.
Right.
And they chased, as I say, in the 1300s, they chased 8 of them. Now, the water wasn't as calm as it is tonight. It was a windy and rainy, and there was like a 2 to 3 foot swell. It was very, very nasty. And they chased them along the dock and into the sea. Now, there's weird currents and stuff, and none of the 8 survived as far as we know. But one guy, whose name was Dan Robson, haunts the pier, which is just there. Do you see the pier? Directly opposite? It'd go all the way up there. It's a massive, mighty long pier. The pier is haunted. We're going to send Kenny along there with a night vision camera. But along this, I know we're quite close to the sea here, and the sea's just been, as we mentioned before. But that pier, that pontoon, they were chased along that. Now you've got to remember, crashing waves, horrible weather, forced them into the sea. Now this one guy, whose name was Dan Robson, he said, I can't swim, and he refused to go in. So what they did, one man with a bill hook, do you know what a bill hook is? It's a curved, but a lot of these people were using them to fight, so they'd sharpen them up so that they were not just a hook for that, they were sharp all the way along. Well, this guy came to Dan Robson and did that and opened his insides, and his insides came out. Now, if you can imagine, at the end of that pontoon, there's a man who cannot move. No. You cannot move forward, you cannot move back. And he collapsed and he started losing blood. Now they say that when he died the following day, they came back and just kicked him into the water, believing that they'd killed him the day before. However, according to a woman who was mentioned in a church magazine in the late 1300s, she said she was a little girl at the time, and she had watched rats eat the guy. Again, a rat story. They said that they'd come down and they'd climbed into his, they'd gone into the easiest place to attack. Yeah. They'd gone into the stomach cavity of Dan Robson, and they ate him from the inside out. At the end of this amazing, and I just think it's incredible. Again, it's that living history thing, to come here. And yes, people have set fire to it. You can see where it's been burnt in the past. Burnt, ruined, seaweed growing on it.
Oh, the necromancer.
Oh, that would be, what a great idea. That's the, well, if you stand in the middle, you can see where the dock was on both sides. The pontoon leading out, just so you can get on and off ships without them having to land. Oh, Kenny, God. Can you take the...
Yeah, go on.
Well, in fact, don't worry about it. I'll
sure.
Oh. This is a great place. Look at that sea.
Look at that.
The blackness of it all. Amazing.
Like the Black Lagoon, isn't it?
It is certainly that. Right, where are we going? Come on, let's necromance, see what's what. I've got an amplifier as well that we'll put on. It's just the best time to come because there's nobody else here. And yes, there's people in, but you can hear. If there's anything about, we'll get it. Right. It's the end of the pier, I think. Is there anyone here?
Death?
Death is here. Well, obviously, we know for certain 9 people died here. And this was a place where Vikings landed as well. What's your name? Bears, Boris, Tom. Names galore here. Who died here? Who died here? You've got to watch these rocks. Can you see the sea sliding out beneath your feet? It's all around us here. Death.
Again. Obviously we're near it, aren't we?
It's death again. It's Dan here. Dan Robinson. Ooh. Dan.
I said Dan. That is madness.
Dan. Well, who knows? Dan, were you conscious when the rats came? Were you conscious when? Were you conscious when the rats came down? Had you bled out? The hell was that?
It's all. When you look at
I thought it was a seal or something. There was something in the water.
That's what I thought before, when you were like ridiculing us.
I did ridicule you. I'm sorry because I've just seen whatever that was.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say to you before.
It was bigger than a fish. Couldn't have been a fish. Maybe. Daylight. Come on, talk to us. Did you fight the Vikings here? Tell us about the Vikings.
I'm sure it's a failure, but I don't understand that. There's some weird words there. I can't believe we get so many names. There's a woman there as well. Though.
There's a woman in there, no question. Did you fight here? Did you see fighting here?
That was definitely yes.
Absolutely. Whoa. What is it good for? Let's just hear what they have to say. Talk to us. We're here for you. No, absolutely. I'm going to go back to that. But first of all, on this other side, there's an odd story from a completely different time. You can hear, no, it's there. You can see where the tide, how far the tide comes up. It comes right up to there, you know.
Yeah.
That's see how easy it would be to get yachts and what have you. No, it's just along here. This is the walkway that leads to the pier. Oh, yes, you can get. Oh, yes, you can get in there if you don't fall over and harm yourself first. Right. It just seems that this place is synonymous with death. Now, we mentioned there is two particular stories. You've got Dan Robinson,
right,
who haunts the pier. Now, he was the guy with the rats.
Right.
there's a second ghost story attached to it, and it's from a guy who was in the 10th Hussars. And I know sometimes the amount of history that I try and dish out sounds like a history lesson, and I apologise for that. This one, again, you weren't sure who fought in the Battle of Trafalgar. No. It was part of the Napoleonic Wars, and the French were in time with the Spanish against us. The Boer War, who was fighting who?
Was that like Russia?
No.
Why the Boer War?
It was us
right.
against South Africans called the Boers,
right.
who were Afrikaans,
right.
who were originally, because the Dutch had colonies in Africa.
Yeah.
Now this all happened in South Africa, and it was 3 years, 1899 to 1902, so before the First World War.
Yeah.
And why would we go to South Africa? Why would we be bothered to fight for land in South Africa?
There must be gold or something.
Gold and diamond mines. Now, we went there just to try and steal essentially whatever we could. And
It's all about money.
it's always about the money. It's always, always, always about the money. So, something just moved past me.
I had to see
Looked
it
like
move.
a ball.
There was a ball there, wasn't there?
I thought it was a ball. It kind of. I had the camera there. I don't know.
What the hell?
There was like something just bounced.
Something moved. The hell?
It was a ball, wasn't it? Why would someone throw a ball?
Well, also,
There's no one there.
well, I'm going to go and have a look.
There's some steps here.
There's nobody here. That was weird. What the hell? Talk about something coming out of nothing. I'm tempted to climb over here, but
Or go under.
aye, that's a thought.
Maybe. I don't know, like, I think climbing over would be probably easier.
Yeah, so do I.
Do you reckon?
Wait, aye.
Or are we going under?
Wait, aye. Oh dear. Now, this is an area. The pier didn't used to be as long as it is now. It's massive and it's scary as hell. If you go late at night on your own, don't. Always bring people with you.
Yeah.
Don't ever go alone, Kenny.
No. Although you're sent us to the pier by yourself.
Oops.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
So,
Are you better off alone?
absolutely. If you've got a bit of heart. So, the this whole track is haunted from the top right the way down. This particular character has been seen time and time and time again. His name is Lowes.
Right.
He was an infantryman for the 10th Hussars during the Boer War. Now, the story is, it's a tragic one really. He died and he's on a monument. There's a monument, not here,
Right.
but in Tynemouth with his name on it.
Yeah.
And the story was that he was fighting with the 10th Hussars at a place called Kimberley.
Right.
It was a whole batch of diamond mines. And he said to his sergeant, because they were in the middle of really vicious fighting with the Boers, and he said to his sergeant, "Hey, Sarge, we've lost so many men. I just wish I could, just one more time, go for a walk along Tynemouth Pier."
Never.
And the second he said that, his sergeant said, "Look, the other gun's running out of ammunition, take some." So he picked a load of ammunition up and he went running to the next gun, completely oblivious that the gun he was running in front of was still firing. They were using a gun called a 2.5 machine gun, and he walked in front of it and he had in his arms ammunition.
Right.
So when the gun projectiles, when the bullets from the gun struck him, cutting him in half, hitting the ammunition,
Oh God, the whole lot blew.
he lost his life that way. However, at the very moment, now whether this is true or whether it's a romantic version of it, we'll never know. But when he was struck, apparently here on this pier area, and we'll walk down because this whole area is riddled with spirit. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Did you hear that? Did you hear a voice there behind you?
There was a voice and there was like a scuffy.
Scuffy, I know, I got that too. There's also a ghost sent to walk the headland here, but I'll tell you more about that on the way back. It just reeks of history here. But this walkway here that we're taking you down, it was said, and as I say, we don't know how romanticised it was, but apparently the very second that he died, because they sent a letter back saying, on the 12th of young Private Lowes met his death, da-di-da. His girlfriend, who still lived in Tynemouth, said, at that very moment, I was on Tynemouth Pier. So when he said, if only I could walk Tynemouth Pier, the love of his life was actually on Tynemouth Pier at the time. Now, how amazing is that? Now, it's said that the following day she came back to the pier, and in the distance, in the far distance, she saw her lover, Lowes, and she ran towards him.
I feel it's going to be locked.
Oh no! Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that is such a... They may. I thought people fished at night on the pier. Oh, this doesn't look good. What a nightmare. Oh, let's see. Plaque's always a good thing. Daft as a brush, cancer patients, care walk. Oh, that's great. They're a great charity. Oh, we'll have to look through the gate, see if we can pick him up, because he's here. Oh, blimey. They've fenced everything off. You used to be able to get quite close up to the priory too. Look at this place. Still don't know what that thing was before, moving past us, mate. So you gotta watch your step here. What you spotted?
There is something in the water there. I keep seeing something in the water, like, and it's not a wave. You know what a wave is?
It's something sticking up. I know, I saw that too.
Where?
Whoa, just seen it there.
What the hell is that?
And it's gone.
What was that?
I don't know, but I saw it. There it is.
It's moving.
Are you getting it, Tony?
Oh my God, that's moving.
It's very dark on the screen.
Ah.
It moved that way, then that way.
It went that way, then it went back, absolutely.
That's not a seal, is it? What the hell is it? That was so weird. It's not a fish, that is it? Not up with,
It's where only if fish swim with their noses out the water. Come on, let's see if we can see. Valiant Private Lowes. Oh, you son of a biscuit. Oh, look at that walkway. God, that would have been so good. Have you seen how good this would have been, Tony? My goodness.
Oh.
Just look at
Just a danger.
Yeah, you don't want to fall off. Absolutely.
Fear of death or something.
We're torched and it's a nice calm night. Oh my goodness. Look out for him. Can you see him? If you spot anything, light that up further, even further along. Oh, there you go. What's the white thing in the distance?
there is something there. There's a mist in front of me thingy again, though. That'll be off the water, won't it? Look at that.
What? Look along Kenny's beam.
Look at that.
Tony, look along Kenny's beam. There's stuff moving past it.
Yes. Well,
What the hell's that?
You can see that,
is he
can't
moving
you?
his camera? Is he
No.
covering his camera?
I've got my camera on it.
Yeah.
There's
Look at
stuff
that.
in the beam.
Look. And there's no water there because I would feel it.
No. What the hell is that?
Oh my. So, it's when you put it there, you just...
Yeah, there's things moving
No.
through it. That's amazing. I hope you're getting it. That's wild.
Isn't it?
Ah, how good would it have been to send you along there,
Oh
though?
man, not good at all.
That's the walkway up there, isn't it? But it still looks like it's closed.
Now there's a gate on it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a... Oh,
Danger of death.
is there another way at the top of that though? Is there something through there?
Oh, it's a staircase.
I'm on it. Got to try and see this guy if he's there. Just feel like there's somebody watching me. Yeah, and it was, but it moved naturally, you know, not like tides or anything. There might be a somewhere along here. Maybe above the walkway. Oh, hello, hello. Oh. I know where you're going, Kenny. Yeah. You thought the pier. Now you've got to watch the pier. Uh-huh. But first of all, come along here. I didn't even know this was here. Look at this. But there's the pier.
Look at them cliffs.
Have you seen this place?
Oh, that is scary when you look down.
It is, and people have taken their life off there before.
I'm not surprised, Wayne.
Look at that.
That is absolutely amazing when you see it this close up. Isn't it? Oh, what's that there?
That's...
It's like a windowy thing, isn't it?
It's the cave of the Jingling Jordy. Do you remember the story of the Jingling Jordy? That's his cave right there. Now, some people say it's full of demon fairies.
I wouldn't be surprised. Look at that.
Look at it. Amazing. Now, back in the day, there was actually a walkway where you could climb up and hide in there.
Right.
They've shaped it off. I don't know whether you've noticed, but that's carved rock. They've shaped it off. And they carved it off to stop people climbing up there. Right. This was in the 1600s. The Jingling Jordy used to light fires on the cliff tops up here, and all the ships would think it was the lighthouse, when the lighthouse is now on the end of the pier, but it used to be where the Coast Guard station is. And that's inside the Priory grounds. But Kenny, if you don't mind, I think you should maybe go down here in the dark.
Really?
Well, you got a night vision camera, so you might as well use it.
Time to split the stream as well.
Right.
Already? Oh God, we haven't told any of the stories of the Priory, and they're the juicy mothers.
Right, so I'll just get on with this then.
All right, Kenny, good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll be somewhere on Tyneside by the time you're finished. Good luck, be careful down there, mate, it'll be wet. Now, if you want to find out what happens to Ken, even I wouldn't like to go down there. Hell's bells, look at it. You got trainers on, Kenny?
Yeah. Should we just test the walkie-talkie?
I'm going to get down there, mate.
Wait, jump?
I'm not jumping that.
Kenny, does your walkie-talkie work?
Yeah.
You might as well jump.
I'm not jumping that, I'll break your leg. That is absolutely crazy. How is it down there?
There's no way down. Anyway, we best split the screen. I'm going to go down there and see if we can get him on the beach. The story, the main ghost story here is about a guy called Olaf. Amazing story. Going to tell you that from up there. But there's also the story of 3 kings that all appeared here. And every single one died in the most horrible way. If you want to hear about them, join us on the other side. How do they do that, Tony?
If you're on Facebook, go to the video description and there's a link there to become a subscriber, and then part 2 will start. If you're on YouTube, join the channel and part 2 and everything else will become available.
Come and join us. We're going to be doing obviously this every week. We've done it for a year. We kind of know what we're doing. We'll give you great stories, amazing history, and hopefully with your help, because last week on our blah, we captured at the last ghost hunt pictures of monks, literally a group of them together. It was you guys that did it, and you sent them in and we showed everybody. A lot of people don't bother with the blah on Tuesday night, but you really should. We caught monks, we caught spirit, we caught 3 or 4 shots that were nothing short but incredible of full-bodied apparitions. And it's only when you go looking regularly that you see stuff, and we caught a lot. Join us on the other side.